Today's practice is a guided walking meditation for calming emotional storms. It's best to listen through a set of headphones on a mobile device so that you can join in the walking meditation. And it's okay if you've never practiced walking meditation before, because if you know how to walk, then you know how to do walking meditation. So once you get yourself situated, think about a place or a path where you might have a little time or space to walk for a few minutes. It's nice to be outside and away from the hustle and bustle. But certainly not mandatory. And you can even be in a hallway or just walking circles in a quiet room. So if you haven't already, go ahead and join me in walking one step at a time, slow, relaxed steps along whatever path you choose to walk, even if it's in circles. So the reason for the walking is because certain emotions like anger, anxiety, or fear tend to feel more energetic in nature. And when we experience those emotions at a high intensity, it's hard to just sit down and sit still with them a lot of the time. So by beginning our practice of walking, we can meet those emotions where they are and allow them to come to stillness gradually in a natural way. And you might think of emotions like these: anger, panic, as a kind of fussy baby, right? So when you have a fussy baby, a lot of times you can't just put him down in the crib and expect him to get quiet, right? And like a fussy baby, sometimes these difficult emotions, we need to carry them. We need to walk with them. and allow them to come to stillness that way. So as you walk, see if you can notice the nature of your breathing, however it is right now. And if you're experiencing strong emotions, you might notice that your breathing is rapid or shallow. And that's okay. We're noticing without judgment. Same way that you wouldn't get mad or yell at a crying baby for having needs. Our emotions need to be attended to in a similar way. And in this case, the care, the attention is in the walking. Go ahead and shift your attention from the breath to the quality, length, and sensation of the steps that you're taking. You might notice if you're taking long steps, short steps, if you're taking quick steps or slow steps. You might notice the sensation of your foot as it touches down on one step, and the sensation of the foot as it lifts up to take the next. You might notice your balance, or lack thereof, as you take each step. Once again, just noticing, not judging. But as we continue to breathe and walk, see if you can begin to elongate the breath cycle so that each breath becomes a little bit longer than the one before it. You might count and increase the length of each breath. By 1 or 2 counts each time. Breathing in, 2, 3, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Continuing until you reach a point where your breath cycle is comfortably long, but perhaps a little more relaxed than when you first began. This is not an exercise in breath holding, though. So when you reach a point where it begins to become uncomfortable to lengthen the breath anymore, go ahead and pull back a little bit. This is intentional effort married with relaxed ease. While you focus on keeping your breath long and relaxed, with a particular emphasis on prolonging the exhalation. Now, see if you can align your breath with the steps that you take. Taking one step on the in-breath and one step on the out-breath. And if you can't, that's okay too. You can continue focusing on the breath. But if you can, you might notice that aligning the steps and the breath has caused you to begin to slow your speed of walking significantly. Breathing in and taking a step. Breathing out and taking a step. And now you might get where we're going here. Because once your breath has slowed and your steps have slowed, go ahead and check in with the quality and intensity of the emotion that brought you to this practice to begin with. Be it rage, panic, jealousy, any one of the more energetic emotions. You might rate its intensity on a scale of 0 to 10. You might identify where you feel that emotion most strongly in the physical body. You might notice if it is increased, decreased, or stayed about the same since you began this practice. There's no right or wrong. And if the intensity is still high, you might give it a little more time to come to stillness without judgment, with compassion, seeing emotions as internal formations that just need a little bit of extra attention at times. But if it has decreased in intensity, I want to invite you to see what happens if you pause and stand still for a moment in the walking. And the emotion might still be there at some level. Let's see if it's a little bit more comfortable standing still. See if you can feel a little bit more secure, grounded, rooted. And if you do, this is a good time to transition, perhaps, to a seated meditation practice, or to use this sense of groundedness to go act constructively on whatever instigated the emotion in the first place, so that you can respond to the problem from a place of security instead of a highly emotional state. And if it's still intense, you might keep walking for as long as you need, periodically checking in on the intensity, the quality of that emotional state. Because the hallmark of all emotions is their impermanence. There's no emotion that has lasted forever, right? So I hope that you found this practice helpful as you return to your daily activities or transition into a seated practice. Thank you for listening. Namaste.